I think the U.S. environment is very different. There is a culture where the man shares the home responsibility as much as the women do. Therefore, for Meg, for Indra, and for others, it's much easier. The social ask from women in India is significantly higher. They believe that she should first be a wife and a daughter-in-law and a mother and then a professional, which is not the expectation which you have in America. And therefore, it is a lot more difficult for women within the corporate world or the social architecture of India. Corporates are doing a lot or attempting a lot to change that, because you must understand that if 50% of the population is not employable for senior management or not available for senior management, then there is a big problem. And therefore, corporates are trying very hard to change that thinking, to change the thinking around the social architecture of what is expected from professional women leaders who want to grow, and creating that environment and creating that enabling function so that the corporate growth for them does become number one priority, as it is for men. And if we are able to bring about this mindset change, then I think we will see people like Meg, people like Indra Nooyi, a lot more in India. We see that in banking today, but we will see that in IT, and we'll see that in manufacturing, and we'll see that in other industries, if we bring about the change in our thinking of what we expect from women folks in our companies. I think the older generation has to recognize that the future would belong to the young generation. We may have an opinion about the young generation in their behavior, in their styles of thinking, in the styles of decision making, in their focus or lack of focus. But we have to understand that 50% of the emerging market world population is the young leaders, and therefore we have to adjust to them rather than asking them to adjust to us. We must all understand that as baby boomers grew, the generation above the baby boomers found it extremely difficult to adjust to our generation. And similarly, we are finding it difficult to adjust to the Gen Y. Therefore, I think we have to take the step forward, because the future belongs to them and not to us. For Gen Y, they must, it's very important to understand that there is a merit in capturing the knowledge and experience which the older generation has, and applying the passion, the energy, the resolve, the risk-taking ability which you have, the quickness of movement, and the intellect which you have. So it's only with a combination of these two would you be able to succeed. You cannot succeed on your own. You have to get the knowledge and experience along with the strengths which you have. If you combine that well, I think there will be success. I would say that the first will be the intelligence itself, the IQ. Do you have the mental agility to be able to deal with the complexity we see around ourselves and connect dots which others are not able to connect? The second is EQ, very, very important in today's world. Do you lead by heart or do you lead by mind? Leading by mind will only take you someplace, because then you are not a leader. People will not follow you. So you need to have a big heart. You need to understand what emotional quotient is, understand why people work for people, and whether you are a leader for whom people will want to work for you. I think the third is, are you an ideas person? What is your idea? What do you stand for? Are you unique in your idea? So the reason people followed Mahatma Gandhi is because he had a unique idea of gaining independence for India with nonviolence. So what is that idea which you stand for and you are associated with that idea? Fourth is, I think, how much irrationality is there in your thinking? Because people who are conforming to ideas, to people, don't get attention. People who are irrational get a lot of attention, because people want to understand, why is this person saying or doing something which we are not used to? So if you want to be a leader, there has to be irrationality in your expectation from yourself, from your team, from your idea, from your company, and that is very important. And the last, and I think the most important thing, is that you exist for the good of the society, which makes you a wholesome person, which makes you a person which people like to associate with. So it's very important that you are known for higher purpose, and you're known for a full person who is working for the good of the society. And that, those are some of the attributes I think young leaders should think about and identify with, and see if they can develop them. And I'm sure some of these will lead you to success. I think my young leader moments have been a lot of failures, and there have been people who are my mentors, my senior, who bailed me out of the situations which I was quite stupid in entering. I was virtually asked to leave HCL 15 days of joining during induction, and that was my young leader moment where I think I was not aligned to what HCL's vision was. When we did this startup called ComNet, to be able, the whole going around and running out of money because we didn't understand that you have to earn and spend, not spend and earn, and virtually going bankrupt, and then the whole issue of raising capital from financial institutions like JP Morgan at that particular time, and the kind of mentorship I got from various sets of people on how to go about doing it. The whole 2005 transition of HCL and the mentorship I got from a lot of young leaders on how to deal with this transformation and how to leverage them in making that happen. So I have a young leader moment, I think every month, if not every day, and that moment comes from all across life because I'm still young. I think ET Young Leader Program is a fantastic program because of a couple of things. First is it is bringing to the center stage what I believe is a very critical aspect of conversation which we as leaders need to have in terms of role, responsibility, and the mentorship which we need to give to the young leaders who are going to shape the future of the world. I do not think too much words, vocabulary, conversations are happening in that area. And the fact that ET is taking that initiative to put that conversation in the center stage of the mind of the readers is a commendable objective. The second thing this program is doing extremely well is it increasing the aspiration amongst the young leaders in terms of somebody cares for you. So I think it is wrong in our society for this halo around the CEO to be celebrated. By celebrating these young, in process, young leaders who are thinking about something new and bringing them center stage, I think we are reconnecting it, connecting back to the community, which is very important for us, and increasing their aspiration levels of what they should be a future, and putting the halo around their head rather than the CEO head. And therefore, for these two reasons, I think this is a fantastic initiative. And I think 5 years, 10 years down the line, some of these leaders will say, because of this initiative, I started thinking differently.